Have you ever loved someone so deeply, only to wake up one day and realize that the two of you were no longer walking side by side, but living miles apart under the same roof? What if love doesn't leave in an instant, but slips away quietly? Through silence, through long nights at work, through words left unsaid. Today's story is about Marcus and Elena, two people who started with joy, laughter, and dreams, but found themselves drifting apart in silence. This is the story of how they nearly lost everything, and how they discovered that silence doesn't have to mean the end. Relationships don't crumble in an instant. They fade in the silence of unspoken words. But silence can be broken. Healing begins with honesty, with listening, with love. If your marriage feels distant, take the first step, because love is always worth fighting for. If this story touches you, pay it forward. Someone you know may need hope today, and please don't forget to like the story, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment below of your thoughts. This will help my channel grow and allow me to continue making videos like this for you to enjoy. When their eyes met across the room, there was no thunderclap, no movie script magic, just a steady recognition, as if each sensed something missing in themselves that the other might complete. Marcus admired her brightness, how she could make a group laugh effortlessly. Elena noticed his stillness, how he listened with his whole attention when someone spoke. That night, they found themselves at the same corner of the table, and conversation flowed naturally as though they had always known each other. They discovered that their differences weren't barriers but bridges. His steadiness anchored her, and her warmth softened him. Before long, there was no denying it. Marcus proposed with trembling hands and a heart full of certainty. Elena said yes through tears and laughter. Their wedding was not extravagant but deeply personal. A gathering of family and friends, a promise spoken with sincerity. Soon after, Naomi was born. The little girl who would carry both Marcus's calm and Elena's brightness in her eyes. The early years of their marriage flourished. They worked as a team, building a home, raising Naomi, dreaming of the future. Their days were filled with affection, late-night conversations, laughter around the dinner table. They weren't perfect, but they were deeply connected. But slowly, almost imperceptibly, life began to shift. When sparks ignite, every love story begins somewhere. Some begin in storms, others in sunshine. For Marcus and Elena, it began on an ordinary evening at a friend's dinner party. Neither planned to go that night. Yet destiny had other plans. Marcus had always been steady, a man of quiet strength, rooted in responsibility. He wasn't the loudest in the room, but his kindness showed in small ways. Simple acts like carrying grocery bags in for his elderly neighbor.
Marcus, you're gonna spoil me if you keep this up. A man your age should be out with friends, not hauling groceries for an old woman like me.
Aw, Mrs. Carter, it's no trouble at all. Besides, you know these bags weigh more than they look. Wouldn't want you pulling a muscle.
You remind me of my late husband, you know. Always thought of others before himself. That's rare these days.
Marcus shifts slightly, almost uncomfortable at the compliment, but his smile softens.
I just figure, if we can make life a little easier for each other, why not?
You've got a good heart, Marcus. I see it in the little things you do. Not just for me, but for everyone. Don't ever lose that, no matter how busy life gets.
To Mrs. Carter, Marcus wasn't just the quiet neighbor next door. He was a man of steady kindness, someone who carried more than groceries. He carried responsibility, compassion, and the kind of character that leaves an impression long after the moment has passed. Marcus didn't just limit himself to simple acts of kindness. He would go beyond, including things like the seat he offered to a stranger, the late hours he stayed to help a colleague. To him, love was action, not words. Elena was different. Where Marcus was steady, she was radiant, quick to laugh, filled with warmth. She could sense when someone's spirit was heavy, and always knew the right word to lift them.
Hey there, sweetheart. That floor doesn't look too comfortable. Mind if I sit here with you?
Jordan shrugs, avoiding eye contact. Elena gently sits cross-legged beside her, not forcing the moment.
You know, when I was your age, I used to hide in the corner too. Thought if I stayed quiet, maybe nobody would notice me having a bad day.
I'm not having fun. Nobody wanted me on their team.
Elena tilts her head, listening fully, her expression filled with empathy rather than pity.
That hurts, doesn't it? To feel left out.
Jordan nods, eyes welling up. Elena places a comforting hand on her shoulder.
You know what I learned, though? Just because someone doesn't pick you, doesn't mean you're not important. You have something special that nobody else has, and maybe they just haven't seen it yet. But I see it. I see you.
Jordan looks up for the first time, surprised at her words.
You do?
Absolutely. You've got a strong heart, and strong hearts don't stay in the corner forever. How about you help me hand out the snacks? I could really use a brave assistant.
Jordan hesitates, then smiles faintly and nods. Elena rises slowly, extending her hand. She takes it. To the children at the community center, Elena wasn't just a volunteer. She was a light, someone who didn't just hear their words but listened to their hearts. She carried the kind of compassion that turned tears into courage and silence into trust. To her, love wasn't hidden. It was spoken, shared, poured out. The night they met wasn't magical at first glance. There was no lightning bolt, no instant fireworks, just two souls who noticed something in the other, something missing in themselves that felt found. His stillness drew her in. Her brightness drew him out. The dinner party is alive with chatter and laughter, but for a brief moment, the noise fades as Marcus and Elena notice each other.
She's different. Not loud, not trying too hard, just present. There's a warmth in her smile that feels like it's meant for me, though I know it isn't. My world has been quiet for so long, not empty, just steady. But her laughter, it stirs something. Like maybe there's more to life than working, providing, surviving. She doesn't even know me, and still, I feel seen.
He's not the center of attention, not trying to impress anyone. And yet I can't look away.
There's a calm about him, a steadiness, like he carries the weight of the world without complaining. His eyes, they're gentle but guarded, like he's built walls no one notices. I wonder what it would feel like if you let someone in. For reasons I can't explain, I want to be that someone. You're quiet. Do you always listen more than you speak?
Elena said, smiling.
Only when someone has something worth listening to.
Marcus replied. They both laughed gently. The spark is there. They didn't fall in love in that instant. But in the quiet recognition of eyes meeting across a crowded table, something unspoken began. Not thunder, not lightning, just a spark. The kind that doesn't fade. It began with simple things. Coffee in the morning, notes tucked in a jacket pocket, walks through the park that stretched until sunset. They discovered that their differences weren't walls but bridges. His steadiness anchored her, Her warmth softened him. Together they balanced each other, like two halves of the same soul. It wasn't long before Marcus, with shaking hands, asked the question he already knew the answer to. Marcus has been carrying the small ring box in his pocket for days, waiting for the right moment. Tonight, with the sky painted in orange and pink, he decides. His hands tremble slightly, and he wipes his palms on his jeans when Elena isn't looking. He drops to one knee, and he speaks.
Elena, there's something I've been wanting to say, but every time I try, I can't find the right words.
Elena turns to him, her eyes curious, warm. He takes a deep breath.
You know me. I'm not the loudest in the room. I don't always say what I'm feeling, but with you, I don't have to pretend. You see me, even in the quiet parts.
He pulls the small box from his pocket, his hands trembling now. He kneels down, looking up at her with eyes full of both fear and certainty.
I want to spend the rest of my life making sure you always feel seen. Not just when it's easy, not just when it's fun, but in the hard days too. You are my heart, Elena. Will you marry me?
For a moment, she's frozen. Then laughter bursts out of her. Joyful, nervous, disbelieving laughter, followed by tears streaming down her cheeks.
Yes. Marcus, yes. 1,000 times yes.
She drops to her knees with him, pulling him into an embrace before he can even slip the ring on her finger. Their laughter mixes with her tears as the sun sets behind them. There was no grand spectacle, no fireworks in the sky, just two souls who found home in each other. And in that quiet park, with trembling hands and joyful tears, they chose forever. Elena said yes through tears and laughter. Their wedding wasn't extravagant, but it was theirs. Two lives promising to walk forward as one. They built a home, a life, a love strong enough to weather storms they could not yet imagine. And then came Naomi, the little one who carried his calm and her light. Parenthood stretched them, challenged them, but it also bound them closer. Their home was filled with laughter, small sacrifices, and love that overflowed. For years their marriage flourished. But even the strongest roots can weaken if neglected. In the quiet spaces between love and responsibility, a silence was waiting. And though they didn't know it yet, that silence would one day test the very foundation of their vows. Building a life together. Marriage isn't built on one grand day, but on countless ordinary days that follow. For Marcus and Elena, their wedding was not the destination. It was the beginning of building a life, brick by brick, moment by moment. They built their first home together, not with perfection, but with joy. Every crooked nail, every uneven paint stroke became part of their story. A reminder that love didn't demand flawlessness, only presence. Love flourished in the small things, the morning coffee, the gentle notes, the shared meals. Marcus, steady and dependable, built security. Elena, radiant and tender, built warmth. Together, they created a rhythm of love, a harmony only they could compose. And then came Naomi, the child who carried his calm and her light. Parenthood stretched them thin, but also stitched them tighter. Every sleepless night, every weary morning became a new testament of love. For in her little eyes, they saw their future, their purpose, their shared legacy. Their love blossomed in this season. Their home was filled with laughter, their table with warmth, their hearts with gratitude. They were partners, lovers, friends. Their marriage was not perfect, but it was alive, and it was strong. But even in seasons of abundance, shadows can grow. Marcus, driven by duty, poured more and more of himself into work. Elena, longing for presence, began to feel the edges of loneliness. Neither knew it yet, but silence was already knocking at their door. The same love that had flourished would soon be tested.
The silent
drift.
Marriages rarely collapse in a single moment. More often, they unravel slowly, thread by thread, silence by silence. For Marcus and Elena, the drift began quietly, almost unnoticed, like shadows lengthening at dusk. Marcus's drive to provide, the very trait Elena had admired, became a double-edged sword. Work began consuming his time, his energy, his attention. He told himself it was love, providing a better life for his family. But with every late night at the office, every missed dinner, the space between them widened. The dinner table sits half cleared. Elena is quietly stacking dishes. Marcus walks in, tie loosened, exhaustion written on his face. She looks up, her expression equal parts relief and disappointment.
You missed dinner again.
Marcus, setting down his bag.
I know. I'm sorry, Elena. Things at work it's just busy right now.
Elena, shaking her head, voice soft but weighted.
Marcus, it's always busy right now. Every night it's another late shift, another phone call, another meeting. Naomi asks where you are. I don't even know what to tell her anymore.
Marcus sits, rubbing his temples.
I'm doing this for us. For you, for Naomi. I want you both to have more than I ever did. A bigger house, better schools, security. Isn't that what love is? Providing?
Elena, her voice cracks slightly, emotion surfacing.
Love isn't just a roof over our heads, Marcus. Love is sitting at the table together. Love is Naomi climbing into your lap while you tell her about your day. Love is me not eating alone 4 nights a week while our marriage slips further into silence.
Marcus looks up, her words sinking in. His expression is conflicted, torn between his intention and the reality she's living. Defensive but quiet.
I thought I was doing the right thing.
Elena, softly, almost a whisper.
You are working so hard to give us a better life, Marcus. But we just want you. That's all Naomi wants. That's all I want. You.
A long silence fills the room. Marcus looks at the untouched plate she saved for him, realizing it represents more than food. It represents what he's missing, Marcus's drive to provide. The very trait Elena had admired was becoming the wedge between them. What began as love in action had quietly turned into love in absence. Elena longed for conversation, for Marcus's eyes to meet hers the way they once had. But when her words were met with silence or tired excuses, she withdrew. The woman who once filled rooms with laughter now filled notebooks with questions she didn't dare ask. At the dinner table, Naomi tries to share her day. Marcus nods absently while scrolling through work emails. Elena forces a smile, then lowers her gaze. In their bedroom, Marcus collapses into bed, exhausted. Elena turns her back, tears brimming, whispering,
Do you even see me anymore?
Distance doesn't come only from anger. Sometimes it grows from neglect. The conversations grew shorter. The laughter faded. Touch became rare, and the silence became deafening. Kitchen table, stacked with bills. Elena tries to engage Marcus.
Can we talk about this?
Marcus, distracted, waves her off.
I'll handle it.
Elena's frustration erupts, tears spilling.
I don't want just bills handled, Marcus. I want us back. I miss us.
Marcus opens his mouth to respond, but no words come. He lowers his head. Elena storms out of the room, her footsteps echoing. Even silence breaks under the weight of pain. And when it did, Elena's heart spilled out in words Marcus had long needed to hear, but had never made space for. In that moment, they both knew. Their marriage was not in danger of a sudden collapse. It was already slipping away. They had once been a couple who laughed through crooked paint strokes, who dreamed of forever over long walks in the park. But now, they were two souls living side by side, yet miles apart. And though the silence was breaking them, hope had not yet left. The question was, would they find it before it was too late? This is where we leave Marcus and Elena, for now. But their journey isn't over. In part 2, you'll see how silence reaches its breaking point, and the choices that could either destroy their marriage or save it. If this story spoke to your heart, don't let it end here. Subscribe to our channel, give this video a like, and share your thoughts in the comments below. What moments resonated with you the most? Your voice matters, and your engagement helps us bring more life-changing stories to you. Stay with us for part 2 of The Silent Marriage. Their fight for love is just beginning.